Hello friends and welcome to Parks Crafty Creations. I'm your host Brian Parks. Today, I've got a really fun sewing project for you. If you've been following our channel the last few weeks, we've made 10-minute table runners, 4-patch coasters, and today we're going to round out our dining room setups with these fun quilt-as-you-go placemats. Before we get started, if you enjoy this content, be sure to give us a like below, as it really does help out the channel. Do it now, please. And if you're new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever a new video drops. And hey, if you love what we do here, be sure to share us with your friends. This is a great beginner-friendly project because you quilt and piece at the same time, which means it comes together quickly and you don't have to do any fancy quilting after. But it's also a fun, fast, easy project for my more experienced sewists out there. And the results speak for themselves. We'll be making a 13 by 19 inch placemat using 2.5 inch strips of fabric, sewn diagonally from corner to corner. And we'll finish it off with a nice, clean quilt binding around the edge. These are great for using up scraps, making seasonal table settings, or even sewing sets for gifts. So let's get started. Here's what you're going to need. Fabric strips, 2.5 inches wide. You can either use jelly roll strips, about 40 strips will make 8 placemats. Cut from your fabric stash, or do like I did and use both. A backing fabric cut to 13 inches by 19 inches. Fat quarters are great for this. Batting cut to 13 inches by 19 inches. Quilt basting spray. Fabric for binding. And of course, your usual sewing supplies. Pins, a ruler, rotary cutter, etc. First, we're going to make our quilt sandwich. We have 2 methods to do this. Lay down your batting on a surface you can spray on. If you've never used quilt basting spray before, let me caution you. It's very sticky, and once it gets on a surface, it's nearly impossible to clean off. So if at all possible, you may want to set up outside. Cover exposed surfaces you don't want to get spray on, and certainly you'll want to do this in a very well-ventilated area. Once you've applied your quilt basting spray, carefully apply your backing fabric, making sure to apply your fabric smoothly so you don't end up with wrinkles, creases, or bubbles in your fabric. So, this is a quilt-as-you-go project. Then why did we just use basting spray? The spray just helps hold the backing fabric and batting in place and makes it easier to keep everything where we want it while we piece together the front of our placemat. Now comes the fun part, adding our fabric strips. We'll be sewing them corner to corner diagonally across the placemat. Start with one strip laid diagonally across the batting, right side up, centered in the 2 corners. Pin it down. Then place another strip on top of it, right sides together, lining up the edges, and pin that down too. Now stitch along that edge with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. When you open and press it, you'll see the strips cover the batting neatly. Each time you add a strip, you're quilting it into the placemat at the same time. That's the magic of quilt-as-you-go. Keep repeating this process. Lay down the next strip, sew, press, and flip. Work your way out towards each corner until the whole placemat is covered. You can mix colors for a scrappy look or use coordinated fabrics for a more polished set. This is also a great project for jelly rolls, since the strips are already cut to size. Don't worry if the edges hang over the batting. We'll trim everything down. Once your placemat is fully covered, it's time to square it up. Place your ruler over the top and trim it down 13 inches by 19 inches. This step really cleans up the edges and makes it look neat and professional. But we're not done yet. We're going to finish up our placemat with our binding. Cut your binding strips 2.5 inches wide and join them together as needed. Then press them in half lengthwise. To miter our corners, we'll lay our fabric out straight in the direction of our edge. Then fold our fabric with a 45-degree fold so it's now laying parallel with the edge we're going to continue on. Then fold our fabric back again, now laying along our new edge. You should be left with this little shark fin on the corner. That's your signal that you did it right. Make sure all of the edges line up neatly together and that nothing is uneven. Then either pin or clip it down and continue. To finish our ends, I have a full video that demonstrates an easy method that ensures you always nail the exact length of binding you need without coming up short or pinching your fabric because you came out slightly too long. I'll put a link to that video up here and down in the description below so you can check it out. Don't worry, I'll have a link in the description of that video too to get you right back here when you're ready. Once you've stitched it all the way around, we'll fold the fabric over the edge and pin or clip it down. I just want to pause here really quick for a note on something I'm sure my more experienced quilters already picked up on. You see me stitching the binding to the front of our design and then flipping the fabric over the edge to the back. If you're doing a proper quilt, you'll want to do it the other way. If you ever enter a quilting competition, this would be a big no-no. So I just want to clarify that yes, I am doing this backwards. I just like how this side ends up looking better than my slip stitch side. That's why I'm doing it this way. No need to blow me up in the comments. Now, you can hand stitch it for a traditional finish, or machine stitch if you want a quick and durable placemat. Either way will work, but personally, I think it's worth the extra time and effort put in to keep those final stitches completely hidden. And that'll do it. You've got a beautiful quilt as you go placemat that's fully quilted and bound, ready to use. Now, repeat the process for the rest of your set. If you've been following our channel the last few weeks, you already saw the beautiful table runner and the fun coasters that would pair amazingly with these placemats if you plan ahead and coordinate your fabrics to make a full matching set. How amazing would that look? I love how quick these are, and they're perfect for practicing your binding skills. Plus, they make wonderful handmade gifts. Just sew up a set in seasonal fabrics and you've got a thoughtful present. And they're so much fun to make. If you enjoyed this project, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Parks Crafty Creations, and ring that notification bell icon so you'll always be notified whenever a new video drops. Thanks so much for sewing with me today. Remember, stay crafty, stay creative, and always have fun. I've been Brian Parks for Parks Crafty Creations. We'll see you next time.